Welcome, Ashley. I'm so excited to have you on the podcast. I've had you here before, but you are back, and I am so excited.
Feels
Everyone
like coming home.
coming home. Ashley Lund here with us. I know you've been here before, but let's do a little reintroduction for those of you who didn't get to listen to the first episode with Ashley.
Reintroduction of me.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about
Okay.
yourself.
Okay. Hello, I'm Ashley Lund. I am from Southern Utah. I live in Austin, Texas now, and I am a breathwork facilitator and value-based life coach. Those are my titles, if you will. And aside from that, I am a dog and cat mom, a girlfriend, a daughter, and an avid concrete lover. I'll spend an hour a day laying outside on the concrete. So there's my
Love it.
there's my introduction.
I think last time you were here, you hadn't quite finished your life coaching certification.
True
I think
chains.
you
I
were
am
like
done.
in the midst of finalizing everything.
Yep. It feels so good to be done.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah. I loved it, and it was so hard and so much work for 14 months. So it felt like it was so worth it, and I feel the
Yeah.
culmination, but I'm like, goodbye that season.
Yes.
Peace. Yeah.
I love it. Okay. I have a
Thank you for
silly.
having me back.
I know. Thank you for
I
being
love
here.
this podcast, and I just love this space and love talking with you.
I know. All the good things always come out. And I know they
Mm.
will. You guys are going to hear so much. I just know there's going to be so much wisdom and little pieces of gold that
We
come
get
from.
so much from each other.
Yeah.
We should just have an episode where it's our voice memos and
Oh my
Marco
God.
Polo streamed together.
Yeah. That would like, I don't know about you, but like even just like putting us in the setting, even though it is just me and you right now, like
Hmm.
knowing that it's going to go out, like there's a little bit of pressure that adds, And I'm sure like the
Hmm.
more we dive in, like this is just natural, like once we get in and things are flowing, but
It
like,
will be a Marco Polo chat.
yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, our conversations are so good. And the wisdom and golden nuggets are
Can't
exquisite.
wait.
Okay, I have a silly question for you,
Okay. I'm
which
ready.
I think I know, but I don't know if it's changed. We will see.
We'll
So,
see.
which Disney or Marvel character, um, best describes you at your core level?
Mm. I love this, and she does know because she walked me through character work. Um, has it changed? I don't think so. I think I am Pocahontas and Iron Man. Maybe a little bit of Eeyore, if I'm honest. Like my shadow self is very Eeyore. I am the hybrid of those three.
Your tail fell off again.
Yeah.
Let me hammer it back
Eeyore.
in.
What is yours?
Uh, I always pick Brave. I like
Brave.
it just comes. I feel like
Mm,
everything in life, who I am meant to be to follow through with the things that I'm meant to follow through with.
mm,
It's going to require me to be brave,
beautiful.
a little bit of a rebel.
I watched that after you told me that the first time.
Yeah.
It was a really cute movie.
Yeah.
I ate my beans really fast and now my throat's like, whoa. Sorry.
Mm.
Sorry if you hear throat gurgles. I slammed some beans as we were
Ooh.
pre-gaming for this.
Oh,
Um, I have a question for you actually.
yeah.
So, my friend asked me this yesterday, um, on her podcast, which was so fun. I love this question. Okay. Would you rather be a guru with high reach or a highly respected community leader with not much reach?
Oh, that is such a good question.
It cuts deep.
It does because I want to help so many people. And I do know that like in my work and some of the things that have been coming up is like you're meant to reach more people. You're meant to share a bigger message, a bit message, a bigger message. But then there's also like, and I honestly like I feel like, especially when we talk about human design in a minute, and even just like when we talk about some of the questions about astrology, like the
Hmm.
outside part of me, like
Mm,
I'm community. I want like a lot of people in my life, but then that like internal world, I love deeper connections.
mm.
So it's like
In
I
your
think I'm
internal
meant for
world.
both.
Yeah.
So it's
It,
hard to answer that question. I'm curious, like what comes up for you? Like,
where I said high reach. And I was kind of like, it feels like wrong to say that, but it's almost like having money, like money magnifies.
yeah,
It's not the root of all evil. And I think that's going away. That people thinking that is going away, but it magnifies who you are, and bigger platforms just allow you to share this message with a greater audience. But it was very thought provoking in that, like, I love my people and those deep connections, but I've never really felt a call to be like a community leader. I'm like, no, give me 100,000 followers, please.
please and thank you.
Please and thank you.
Uh,
Universe said, how's 300?
yeah, I'm going on a tangent here. Numbers. Tell tell me how you cope with the world of numbers. And I'm not sure if I'm making sense there, but I think
Say
a lot
more.
of yeah, I think a lot of people here even listening understand this, like the number of followers you have, or how many people are
Mm,
sharing your posts or listening to your podcast. And it can like it can really screw with our mental health if we don't have the
amen.
tools and we don't, yeah. I'll just stop right there. Tell me a little bit more.
Oh, that's a good topic and a very like reflective question because I feel like as you were saying that, I'm like, it's always ego. And I don't dislike my ego. She's my BFF. But she's the one that cares like how many listens, how many reshares. And I have to get so grounded in that like if I had 300 people, I have 300 followers. If I had 300 people in a room that gave a fuck what I had to say, that's insane. And so my coping strategy is evidence and like coming back to reality and just letting, I know that that's probably not going to stop coming up, maybe someday, but not letting it drive my sense of self-worth around it.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's key. Self-worth. Who we
Mm.
be.
Hmm. And there's your work.
Yeah.
Who
Who
we
we
be.
be. Yeah, a lot of the work is it always comes back to self-worth. And I think we resist it. Like when we're in the personal development world, we're like, oh, I don't need to work on my self-worth. I just need to be able to be more motivated and be more X, Y, and Z when in all reality, when you come back to the simple work of simple, and I say simple because it's very, very simple. It's not easy in terms of like
Yeah.
going through it. If you have some trauma on the other side of it, you can make it fun
Yeah.
though. Can add a dash of fun. But um I feel like a lot of people want to ignore it and
Yeah, we
but it
want
really
the
is the
bright
work.
light.
Yeah.
It is the work, the thing we want, and we want to share our message, and we want to grow, and we want to serve others, and we want to help others, especially being leaders, entrepreneurs, business owners, high achieving women, all of the people that are your listeners. Um, but the brighter that light, the starker the contrast of the shadow, and you can't have one without the other. And shining that light requires looking at that shadow.
Yeah.
I fear.
I love it.
Um,
I want to bring this back around real quick to the question. Tell me a little bit more why Pocahontas and why Iron Man, and then we'll jump into the rest of the questions.
okay. Um, I think Pocahontas is a deep feeler and she's curious and she's brave and playful in nature and she loves her people, but she's also open to seeing and loving other people, and the other side. And she wants to merge worlds. And I don't know. I think she really sees people for their heart and their goodness, despite all the other characters in that movie that are all so different, from her dad to Cocoam to John Smith to her little raccoon. Like they're all so different, to her sister. But she sees the good in all of them. And while I don't think I'm perfect at that, I think that's one of my gifts, is to see humanity and love and the good and the bad in everyone and just love it all. Iron Man, he's a few things. He's kind of a dick and just like doesn't care, but he's not a dick. He's just like, yeah, sure, whatever, but I'm doing what I'm doing. And I admire that and aspire to be more of that every day. And I think it's in my core, but I've got a lot of people pleasing. And so I look up to him, and maybe that's more of that piece of like who I want to embody.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I choose him.
Yeah. I feel
He just
like
knows his path.
I feel like you do embody that so much. And I look up to you for that. Like, and I mean, I currently am coaching with you simply because I'm like, I want to like understand discernment more. I
Mm,
want to know
such a
how
good
Ashley,
intention.
yeah. And I feel like when I've worked with you before in the past, you did such a great job at like, you learn the things that you learn and then you put it through this filter of like, is this for me? And when
Hmm.
it is, like, you take it on. And when it's not, you let it go. And that's a quality so many people want.
Mm. Thank you for that compliment. That's
Yeah.
so sweet.
Yeah.
It's I do it's in my human design. It's my what's the word? The cross. Mine is the left angle cross of individualism. And I
Mm.
know we're getting into human design. Um, and so I feel that in me, but then as soon as someone else is in front of me, because I value them so much and I see them, I want them to feel included and loved. And so it's hard for me to hold the boundaries that I feel really strongly within myself. Maybe not as hard, like I've definitely worked on it, but yeah, it's something that I will continue to learn throughout my life because it's part of my calling to teach that individualism and own people's own paths, which is really interesting, being in a space to teach what can only be learned by one's own self. But it works. It all unfolds great.
It does. And I think there's a couple other questions that'll bring out that later down. But I mean, when you think about life coaching in general, no matter where you're getting your life coaching experience, like whoever's teaching it, to you, like as a life coach, you learn like it's really not about you giving the answers. It's about asking questions that help your clients really come back to who they are.
Beautifully worded.
And and I think that that makes so much sense. Like as a life coach, you do bring that in for other people. Like just asking questions, it's like, oh, okay, now I get that because that question made me think this way instead of this way, which is the way I've been thinking, which is
Just a
holding
different
me
frame.
confined. But now I'm open to this other thought process that like expands my reality.
Hmm. And it comes from the client themselves. As coaches, ask questions. We're not giving an answer, right? So it's not planted, but it elucidates something from within their own heart, mind, or soul. And so it is very much their own, which is really cool.
That is so cool.
Oh, love it.
So cool. Okay. I'm gonna move to the next question now. And
All
of
right, hit
course
it.
I have it all written down because, I can't
Be
just
organized.
organize it because if I don't, then,
Organized chaos.
yeah. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna get into human design right now. Okay, so
But
what's
great
your human?
segue.
Oh no. We're gonna get witchy in this episode. Like, so witchy. I love it.
Okay. Doors open. The doors are open.
Yes. Okay, what's your human design type? And how has knowing that helped you feel more aligned in every area of life?
Human design type, like
Oh yeah, yeah. Like
manifesting generator, that
yeah.
type. So I'm a generator. I am 80% of the population. Um, and are we explaining stuff as we go, or are we just kind of leaving nuggets for people to Google, or how
Yeah.
much have you talked human design? I know you do calls on them.
Yeah. I think hmm, I want to say yes to all. I say
Yes.
let whatever comes out, but also with the intent that just understanding your own human design, how has that
Mm.
helped you really start to and the second question after this is how have you integrated this into your business and with your clients, and why would you recommend human design for listeners?
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll kind of keep it as how it's served us.
Yeah.
And then listeners know that they can get a call with you and start to uncover these pieces. So I'll just say to the listeners, like, just let this wash over you like water. You don't need to catch on to strategy or type or this or that,
I
but
love
just
that.
like whatever whatever we're gleaning from it, if that resonates, like go do a call with Mary Jo and you can clock your own. You don't need to clock what ours is anyways.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which
So go
real
ahead.
quick, yeah, if you guys are interested, I offer a soul aligned strategy call. So it's really designed for the girl who feels like she's been following the rules forever and it's just like not working, it feels stuck. And you really just want to, or maybe it is working and you just feel burnt out as fuck and you are ready to really start to align with your
Mm.
true path in a way that you get to design your own rules, in a way that you get to step into your true power. So I'll leave that in the show notes. So,
Yay. I love
okay,
this.
let's go.
Everything is so aligned with that, like individualism and
Yeah,
eliciting our own stuff. And that's a human design is such a cool way to do that. And especially learning it from Mary Jo, who is a Manny Gen and
sweet.
loves to research and dig and just knows so much about so much. So what starts as one thing will trickle into another, into another, into another, and is very powerful and illuminating of like whatever's meant to come up wherever you're at in life. Um, okay, so mine is a generator. I feel like when I first learned I was a generator, I was like, ugh, I'm not even unique and special. I want to be a
That's,
Manny Gen or a projector. But it helped me by honestly, it helped me give myself grace because I operate off of a to-do list so much. And I think I was in the not working side of that, of like, I tied my value at the end of the day to how much I got done.
mm,
And so it helped me research like what are healthy ways for a generator to show up in their energy or even just to sit with that question. And now I still have a to-do list, but on there I'm going to put watch Wicked, like and shorten
yeah.
it and take 20% off that list so that it's not so intense. I can build a little grace into my structure because I'm an energizer bunny. I'm meant to be doing, but I used this as a productivity tool and it just kind of got me stuck in a trap. So, bringing it back to that question of like, how has it served me? I think human design as a whole, not just knowing my type or my strategy, has helped me to reflect on why I do things with love and compassion. And just like, whatever doesn't resonate with it, I just let it go. It doesn't have, if it's not working or it doesn't resonate, I leave it be. But the things that do, it's like, oh, okay, because I'm that way, like, so what now what? What do I want to do about it? How can I do this in a healthy way? And I never would have thought of that without the tool of human design. I would have just let these run my life forever.
I love that. I have a quick question here. You and I both are, I feel like we were hesitant, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but I'm pretty sure we've had this conversation. We were kind of hesitant to get back into human design. Like we've gotten into it before, and then you came on the podcast and started talking about it, and I was like, I got to get back into it. I want to know more. And I was hesitant because I am a mindset. Like if there is something that will be a crutch,
Mm,
or to say like, oh, if I'm this certain kind of way, then it's never going to happen for me. Like I was
that
really
part.
hesitant into getting back into human design. Um, but then like as I got back into it, I realized it's the mindset that you have around it
Yes.
that can either hinder you or help you. What would you
Mhm.
say has helped you as far as just letting human design be what it is and not let it hold you back from taking the risks or taking the chances and moving forward with all of your goals in a way that you know you're meant to?
Yeah. Um, my experience of it, I love that you say that because any kind of tool, tarot, um, manifestation, human design, astrology, church, you name it, it can be very guilt or shame inducing if we go, or just like can make us feel disempowered if we give it the power. But using it as a tool is so powerful. And just saying that is one thing. But I feel like the experience of like, okay, what does using it as a tool actually mean? And it requires a lot of self reflection. So my experience with it was like, at first, I was frustrated that I had an undefined ajna, head, ajna, and throat. And I'm like, oh, I'll never find my set message. And same with emotions. Like I have an open emotional center. Like, oh, I'm just going to always be so emotional. And then it was more about like, so for a minute, sorry, I'm kind of scattered. I'm processing this in real time.
This is
Um,
great.
this is great.
It
It's all
really is.
perfect. Um, I had to distance myself and be like, okay, let's not. Something I learned in coaching is so if you don't like it, change it. If you're 80 or autistic and you can't hold eye contact, okay, you have the reason why it's autism. I can't hold eye contact. But if you don't like it, you can change it. Like, don't let it be your excuse.
Yeah.
And so I had to kind of take space from it and be like, I'm not going to let that be my excuse. What is my voice? How do I process emotions? And in that experience, it was a tool because it led me to deeper self reflection.
Yeah.
And then I don't even remember what it was I read, but I read something about, oh, I do, about the open throat and ajna and like how for me, it's because I respond. So I can tailor my voice to whomever I'm in front of, which makes me a powerful coach. And also why I have clients from 12 years old to the lady I met with yesterday is 65. Like, so it is cool. It's
Yeah.
something that it's not bad because it's not defined, it's just a place where I get to learn and be adaptable. Um, so I think that's my experience with like remembering it's a tool and not just an end all be all and oh well I'm not meant to be that way or oh I have to do this because this says so.
Yeah.
But I'm curious what your experience was if you remember like veering away from human design the first time and what it was that made you go ugh, and what your experience is with it now and how you manage.
I think I started using it as a crutch, um, as in a way to say, oh, well, I'm meant to respond to things and I'm not supposed to ask. But I do really, really, really well with asking. Like when I get this intuitive
Mhm.
hit to just like ask somebody a question, like, or offer somebody something like, hey, this person's been in my world a while and I can't stop. They keep coming up in my mind. Like that is the invitation for me to respond to versus me thinking that I had to like wait for people to come into my world. And I found myself sitting there and then nothing happening. And I was like, and of course, that was just the mindset I had. I
Done.
think this was like back in 2022. It's been a minute. Um, and just kind of like throwing my hands up in the air with it versus like, okay, let's explore this and figure out why. So then coming back into it now, it's like,
Mm.
wait a second. Because and even I have a client who she's a projector and she's like, I didn't know. She's like, I want to ask people questions. She's like, but I'm supposed to like be invited to ask those questions. And I'm like, no, like maybe you are the invitation. Like like if you get this intuitive nudge and
That's your
then
invitation.
yeah, that's your invitation. And you
Mm.
put that through your like your authority and
Mm-hmm.
it lights you up in the way that it's meant to light you up, whether that be, whether you're an emotional authority, a sacral authority, a splenic, whatever it may be, like the way that you are meant to like know if it's a yes. If it's a yes for you, then that's your answer.
Yeah. So true. So good. And I love that you're speaking on the how would it make sense? Because human design and astrology by nature are very definite, and this is what it is. And so I think there is a level of stopping at that first layer and either going, well, that's just how I am, or avoiding it altogether when we can go, why is that? And get curious and ask a friend, ask a coach, and have a coach say, okay, well, you're getting this intuitive nudge. Could that be the invitation right there? And it's like, oh, fuck, yeah, there it
Yep.
is. Because it usually will end up making sense, just like my open throat just means that I speak differently in different places. Not that I don't have a set way to speak or I shouldn't be or I don't have a clear message, like I made it mean one thing when it really didn't mean that. That was just my mindset and
Right.
beliefs around it. So I'm glad you bring that up.
Yeah. And I think also just I think I learned I had ADHD after I kind of like let all of the spiritual side of me kind of like wash away for a minute while I was in my corporate Mary self for a while.
Mm.
And in that time, like I learned I had ADHD and I was scared to accept it because I was scared to let it be my crutch. But
Mm.
in learning that I had that, I was able to figure out how to work around it. Like I can sit here and tell myself that I'm the kind of person who doesn't remember things, or I can write them down. And actually, I am the kind of person who can remember things because I write them down.
Right. Because so what now what?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I write it
Here's
down and I remember.
yeah.
I remember.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Do you use the ever living crap out of reminders?
Yes. Yeah.
I will have like 15 reminders a day.
Sticky
Like, oh,
notes.
remind me to do this in 1 hour.
Yeah.
Oh, your sticky notes?
Yeah, I love sticky notes and
Mm.
yes, reminders. But yeah, I like sticky notes.
I do. I do like my paper.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, next question, boss.
And we talked about like how you integrate it into your business. Oh yeah, let's talk a little bit about like how you integrate it into your business and with your clients.
I don't feel like I really do unless they ask or they enjoy it or we're friends and I can be like, hey, can I pull your chart? you know? But if they are interested or they ask about it or I have their chart, then I'll be able to
There's a
do fine.
fuzzy in the air.
Um, then if they bring something up, I will use it as a tool. Like, oh, okay, so let's explore this through the lens of astrology or human design or whatever it is that resonates with them if I have some knowledge in that area, because now I can ask them questions through a lens that resonates with them. But I don't usually ask for it. And
Yeah.
I don't actually, I do know why. I give a little side story for no reason other than it's coming up right now. Is that okay if I meander?
Yeah. Meander.
Meander about.
Meow.
Um, I was so excited to move to Austin for the spiritual community, and the spiritual community here is a shit show. Very, I was gonna say respectfully, but I don't know if I mean that. It's a shit show, and I don't want to be I don't want to be seen as someone like them or identified as someone like them. So I've clocked myself like being very guarded around spirituality unless I'm in front of someone that I know we can talk about that and I know it's not going to be perceived a certain way. So I'm very precious with it. Like it would take me a few sessions or really knowing someone to say, are you interested in astrology or human design? Like I need them to bring it up first, especially living in Austin because I do not want to be perceived as an Austin spiritual person.
Do you mind me asking a little bit about what that even is like?
It's very love and light, spiritual bypassing, grand rising, white linens. Everyone's doing drugs. They're doing ketamine every week. They're doing Molly every weekend. Like toxic. They're all dating each other, but they're all devastated and depressed. I met two people that I met and wasn't close with, but like got to see their world. One of them was like clinically unwell and had an audience of 20,000 people. And I was like, girl, like take care of yourself. And I know that this is me casting judgment. Here's just my human self. And not that you can't have that anyways, but I was just like, whoa, what are we doing? Like she
Yeah.
was it gets really deep and dark and I don't know how much of it is mine to share. But it's just a lot of gaslighting and bypassing. And then another gal was a money coach who claimed one thing and had no money, which is fine. Like have no money and be a money mindset coach. You're on the journey. But she was lying about it. And so I was just like I just had the ick from everyone I met. I was like, what is this? Ugh.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm sure that there's shadow stuff in that and like the what's the word? Imposter syndrome that I feel I can be projecting that or like fear of becoming that. So I see it really loud, but also a part of it is just that it's a very toxic community.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
It's a lot I just threw on you.
no, it just makes so much sense. And that it kind of just like led right into what we were talking about before, where like the spiritual bypassing and like the using this as a crutch
Mm,
and like the drugs and the positive toxicity and the like like I guess not really like allowing your like your shadow side to come forth
mhm,
and not letting yourself process emotions and instead taking something outside of you to
mhm.
help you expand. In all reality, what that do is doing is creating depression and
Yeah.
just back
Driving
at
you
it again the
further
next
from
day.
self.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. That was very well worded.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's it that. It that.
I know a lot of that because I just like growing up in a family with lots of alcoholics, like we can have like we have the good life, right? We have a damn good life. But it's like the alcohol doesn't have to be an every night thing. And unfortunately, like for a lot of people in my family and even myself have experienced that in which like you're having so much fun with your family and staying, up late and having deep conversations and you feel like it's expansive, but it's only really when you're with them. But then you wake up the next day and you have this headache um
Mm,
and it yes, it is a
yeah.
good life, but at the same time, it's like it reminds me of like a Machine Gun Kelly song, like like enjoying life, but at the same time, you're like wake up and need another, I don't know, need another drink
hmm
to get going
To
again.
get to that state. Right. Like they call them journeys. We went on a journey together and it's just all of them doing Molly. And
Yeah,
I'm like, that I haven't done Molly, but I'm like, that is fun, but it's weekly, sometimes several times in a week. And then it's this major depression and suicidal, like, and I don't know if we can say that on your podcast. I was veering away from it earlier, but here it is. So bleep that out if you need to. Um, it's just such stark contrast and masked pain when not done in moderation, like you're speaking to, like when it's every night or when as soon as you're out of it, you all you want is that to Hera the dog. I'm curious what the Machine Gun Kelly song is. I want to listen to it.
yeah. I don't know. It's just basically all of them.
It's all it's all Machine Gun Kelly. What do you mean? It's his persona.
Oh man.
That's funny.
Uh, my friend and I were talking about this the other day. We're actually going to a Machine Gun Kelly concert, I think in June, in Salt Lake City. And we were talking about how like his music is so good and it gets so deep, and at the same time, we're like, is it good for us to be listening to this? And I think the conclusion that we came to is like there's this like ebb and flow of emotions. And we just need to make sure we're bringing in positivity
Mm.
but also like allowing ourselves to listen to that kind of music when we're
Yeah.
in that mood, just to let our emotions be there. Uh,
Yeah.
but again, let it be a tool, not a crutch.
Yeah. Permission.
Yeah.
And it's always so interesting having these conversations, and I always feel like I'm magnifying my flaws, but I'm down with that because I have an addictive personality and I judge that so hard because I'm afraid of becoming that. And if of course, if I didn't have fear around it, I wouldn't judge it. I would just be like, "No, it's not for me." I wouldn't have such strong feelings around it. But then you tell me about like drinking and Machine Gun Kelly, and I'm like, hell yeah, like do it. All things in moderation and sometimes in overconsumption because we're human.
Yeah.
But then we always swing back.
Yeah.
And it's just the balance and the dichotomy of life. And there's just no such thing as getting it perfect or getting it right or finding that perfect balance.
Yeah. Yeah. And I honestly, I mean, I'd love to see myself one day like, oh, I don't drink anymore. But in all reality, like, I also would love to say I'm never going to eat sugar again.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll tell you this, a, a couple beers versus a couple treats. I feel a whole lot better drinking a couple beers than eating a couple treats.
Yeah.
I don't know if I mean, I don't know the science of that, but I do know like
You
the
know how
way I
you
feel
feel. Yeah. That's what
given the
matters.
choice.
I feel the
So,
same way. I'm like, how slay if I am sober one day, but that feels not even close.
yeah,
My favorite vice.
I would love to, but again, like all things in moderation. Like,
Yeah.
why is it even available? Like we're meant to experience.
Yeah.
Then again, why do we have, I don't know.
We could go so deep on that.
I do know, I do know why we have meth. Keep my brain straight.
For the ADHDers.
But again, little tiny bits.
Yeah. Yes. All things
Uh,
in moderation.
okay, well,
Meander on back.
I'm gonna meander on back. Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, let's dive into tarot. Tell me more about your tarot and oracle rituals and how that has helped you take more aligned action.
Mm. I don't really have rituals. Um, I always will just I notice them. I I really do live by my sacral response authority so much. And that is that I respond to what's in front of me. Like I live in the now. And when I am in the now, I will always know what to do. I'll always be guided. And it's just random. I will walk by and be like, Prism Oracle, I need to pull a card right now. And I'll pull it open and a question will land and I'll draw it. But I don't, maybe it's not respectful. I don't know, but I don't like follow the rules of tarot of like you shouldn't buy your own tarot deck. It should be gifted to you. You shouldn't let other people touch your deck. It should have your energy only. I just don't give a fuck. And
Yeah,
I don't do the spreads the right way. So I don't really know that I have a ritual around it. I don't think I do it right, but I do it in a way that works for me.
right in quotations over here.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Um, I've
Yeah.
been a part of um oh it's called the Wealthy Woman's Coven. I can't remember. I'll link it in the show notes for those of you who are interested. I've been a part of this group, and one of the things she teaches about tarot is it's much more of an intuitive guidance and like the symbolism and the imagery and like what comes up for you versus like the right or wrong way to be doing it. And
Mm,
it opened my mind up to it so much more. And I'm
love.
like, sweet, like this doesn't have to be perfect. I can just flip a card whenever I'm feeling it and just look at the picture and let this intuitive guidance come through. Like, what does the universe need me to know right now? Flip the
Mm,
card. And before I even read the guidebook, if I don't know the card or, like just looking at the symbolism and the pictures and getting that um, guidance just from what comes up for me and what resonates. So
that's really
fun.
cool. You'll get stuff from the pictures and symbolism. And are you a visual learner too?
Yes and no. Yeah, it depends.
Okay. Depends on context, what you're
Yeah.
consuming. Are you clair, what's the word?
Clairvoyant.
Clairvoyant, yes.
I don't know. I think so. Are you?
I'm more claircognizant. Like
Okay.
all like
Explain what
something will
that
just
means.
so clairvoyant is seeing, it's symbols, it's images. For some people, it's literally like seeing out here, kind of third eye energy. Claircognizant is mental, like you'll just get a knowing or a download. Clairsentient
I love this.
is hearing. There's one more.
If the next one is emotions, that's mine for sure.
What, like it's you get a feeling.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I see in pictures, but in the picture, I mean, we all do. That's what our brain does. Our brain sees in pictures.
We are all of them.
Yeah, it's just, and this might even be coming back to my human design was the satisfaction thing, the thing, my authority.
That thing.
It's just, oh my gosh, when I can, and I think so many of us like we forget how much we manifest from how we feel. Um, you can sit and you can say an affirmation over and over and over again, but if you're not feeling it, right? Like if you're not feeling the joy, that is like so much more for me, so much more magnetic in my visualizations. Like if I'm doing if I'm doing a practice and I'm seeing myself reach a goal or something, it's much more about how I feel in my body
Mm,
versus what I can see. What I can see brings in how I feel.
mm, mm-hmm. I
That
love
makes
that.
sense.
It's the bridge for you.
Yeah.
It's the leapfrog, the pond, the
S-
lily pad.
Yeah. Explain like more of the evidence piece. Like how does that help manifest or help you as you're collecting that evidence, right? Like, I don't know, tell us more about it. I don't know what question I'm trying to ask, but tell me
Did I
more.
say evidence? Wait, evidence of what? Evidence as a coping skill? Where is this coming from? Because evidence is one of my favorite words, but I don't know what context we're talking about it in.
Clairvoyant, claricon.
Oh, like how to
Yeah.
tell? Ooh, I would use a Mary Jo skill here and look for an ask formation. Like, how am I claircognizant? How am I clairaudient? How am I clairvoyant?
Hmm.
Because again, we are all of them. It's just to what degree. And really, it's just becoming aware of it. Like your doctor saying, have you noticed any tightness here? And you're like, well, I don't know. I haven't been paying attention to it. And then the next week you notice it.
Yeah.
Like it's just setting that intention, Googling what they are, seeing what one stands out, and then asking, like, how do I experience that? And I think it'll come through. And a human design tool, if you look at your chart, I have yours pulled up. Okay. See these four arrows by your head? Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The specific and non-specific.
Yes.
Tell me more. Tell us
Those,
more.
so if they relate to four different things, and I cannot tell you them off the top of my head. But if they're pointing right, it's more specific and more logical, more mental. If
Yeah.
it's pointing left, it's more emotional and felt. So three of yours are pointing left, one is pointing right. So you do have that like structure and specificity, but more often than not, you're going to be how it feels, how it, like that's your experience of it. So I would bet if people are listening to this and they're like, ooh, like clairaudient stood out, maybe they're more logical. Or if it's more sentience and it's the feeling. I think that that's what it is. I said sentient was hearing. Sentient is feeling. Audient is hearing. If they've got more left arrows, they're probably more clairsentient. And
Yeah.
I could have screwed all of these up. Do fact check me. Do Google the
Do
definitions and
Google,
find all
please.
of, yeah, do Google, do ask chat all of the Claires, and she will tell you.
Yeah.
Um, but it's just funny how that it ties into everything like astrology and human design and tarot and the Claires, like they all are interwoven with each other, and it's just so cosmic and witchy and beautiful.
Yeah. I know, and I feel like the more we talk, the more I'm like, I gotta dive deeper and deeper and deeper.
It never ends. It never ends.
Hello, human design manifesting generator.
Generator.
I love it. One of the things about being a specific or non-specific manifester, and something I've learned is either one, if you're specific and you can see things exactly the way they like if you're supposed to be visualizing and getting it more specific versus feeling, it's really not about not feeling. It's just that the more you can visualize it and see the exact things, the more you can feel it in your body. But then sometimes for other people, getting specific causes anxiety and stress. And so it's more about just feeling it in your body. So
Right.
it really like it comes down to what works for you.
Yeah, there is no right or wrong.
No.
I love that Coven lady teaches like you'll just you'll know, like you'll get from it what you need.
Yeah.
There is no rules around it. And that makes me happy to hear. Maybe I just learned tarot or have talked to people about it that are more logical and they're like, well, this is how it's done because everything has a logical and everything has an emotional flowy side, right? And they were just more logical and that works for them, but not for me.
And a lot of it
So cool.
comes down to like neuro-linguistic programming for me, like in the spirituality part. Um, an anchor, right?
Mhm.
Something to anchor you in and 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 set that intention and allow you to move through it and stay with it. And alongside of that, like the spirituality and then our individualism and our ability to take what's meant for us and leave what's not versus like following strict rules.
Mm.
And and not to say like if people are following the strict rules of taroism or is taroism a word?
I don't know, but I really liked the way it rolled off your
Taroism.
tongue.
Yeah, taroism. Blah, blah, blah. The strict rules of anything. Like if the rules work for you and you feel that and it
Yes.
lights you up, follow them. If they don't. Make up your own
Hmm.
rules.
Yeah.
Like
It's
dieting,
all about how it feels.
business, career, relationships,
Mhm.
just parenting, all the like the five,
Everything.
anything.
Everything. Yes.
Make your
I love
own.
that. Even if you are a more logical person, as you consume something in a logical way or you're following the rules of taroism or whatever it is, it's still going to feel good. Like in at the end of the day, it's all about how it feels in your body, even if the feeling good is up here, centralized up here rather than in your bosom.
Feel it in my sacral.
We can't go there.
We can't. Actually, I can. I don't. You all know me. Um, Whenever I'm talking to Ashley, I call my sacral my vagina. That it is what it is. I just call it that. I'm like, I can feel it in my vagina.
I'm like, you know what?
It lights me
Hell
up.
yeah. My vagina is lit up.
It's okay. Let's talk about astrology.
Okay.
What would you say is the most important place to begin for those that are new here? Like, they're like, I want to dive into astrology. What what would you say they should dive into first?
So we kind of touched on this yesterday, and I'm gonna keep that answer because I think it is the most powerful thing that I've learned from astrology. Um, your your sun sign, what you know you as, is how the world experiences you and how you push your energy forward in the world. But your moon sign is your internal world and how you experience your emotions and your thoughts and how you communicate with yourself. So I watch more often than not things about Scorpios because that's my moon sign. And I am an emotional bitch. And a Capricorn is not. Capricorns are pretty like stone cold business. They love their people. And I resonate with all the Capricorn things, but it doesn't speak to me and my personal growth. So if I'm feeling called to listen to something in astrology, I listen to Scorpio because Scorpio is going to help me work through what's going on in here in my internal world and move through it. Um, so that would be my recommendation is start with your big three, sun, moon, and rising. And your rising is just how people perceive you. Um, and also like a role you play in the bigger picture of things where your sun is kind of like your job and your identity. They're similar, they're parallel, but they're not the same.
Yeah. Start with the
Is
big
that
three.
enough or do you want me to say any more?
I feel like I've got to, I've got to, I've got to share also, like, because when I started with astrology, I'm like, what the hell is a moon sign? Um, because I remember somebody asking me once, like, what rising sign are you? And I was like, I'm a Sagittarius, because I'm just like thinking like my zodiac sign, you know?
Yeah.
Then later down the road, I'm like, oh, I think I told somebody the wrong thing. So like, I guess just like help anyone here who maybe is like new to astrology, like what's your sun sign, what's your moon sign, and what is your rising sign? And we don't have to go too far into the astronomy piece of that, but like essentially when you were born, that's where the placements were.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So the sun is like right now we are in Sagittarius season. It's Mary Jo's season. Um, the sign in the sky right above head, the time you were born is your sun sign. Even if you were born at night, it's what sign the sun is in. So the next day or the day before, whatever sign the sun is in. Um, your moon is same but moon. So like right now we are in a Capricorn moon. It's which is so weird. And then rising is what was on the horizon at the time you were born. So it's kind of confusing to me when you get into the astronomy because no matter how many times I study the solar system and how the planets spin and how the stars move, it does not lock in. so so I don't fully understand like okay, when they say the moon is in this sign, I imagine like a flat map of stars and then in front of that is sun and all the planets and say the moon's here and right behind it on that map of stars, that's the sign it's in. But I don't know, but someone knows. Someone in
I'll Google
astrology
it.
knows. Go Google
I
it.
went down a rabbit hole one night because I'm like, I can't learn I can't learn. Don't let me say these wrong or backwards. I can't learn astrology if I don't understand the astronomy. Like I like flat out was like, I'm trying to learn all of this, and I'm like, I've got to go Google this, and I spent like 2 hours one night on ChatGPT, just like, but why? Why does it mean that the moon and
I
and like all
did
the
you
things?
get it? Did it clock?
Yeah, it clocks, but it's still like I don't understand. Like I don't understand it enough that I can like spit it
Okay.
out on
Dang
podcast
it.
right
I
now.
was
You
like,
know what I
please
mean?
tell me.
But essentially, like there's this, yeah. It's not all there, and I know like as soon as I like y'all are gonna hear more
It's
about it, but
landed. It'll come forth
yeah,
later.
yeah.
Sorry I even tried. I probably gave
N-
someone an aneurysm trying
You're
to
good.
follow what I
And
said.
I'm sorry for asking you a question that I couldn't like follow up. I think more than anything, I just know that there's people here going to be like me who are tuning in and they're like, but I want to know what that even means. But essentially, it's just the the constellation that your sun is in or your moon's in or what's on the
Mhm.
horizon.
So every
So,
planet rules a different energy. Like the sun is, I mean, it's daytime. It's what we do. It's very masculine energy. It's go. So your sun sign is how you do those things. The moon is at nighttime, and that's when we reflect. That's when we're sleeping. That's when we're in our minds and in our dream world. So it rules our internal world and emotions. So it all makes sense. And like Pluto is the planet of death and rebirth and transformation. And Mercury is the planet of communication. And that's why they say, like, when Mercury is in retrograde, in the sky, it looks like it's moving backwards. It's really not, but that's why communication breaks down and technology starts acting weird, like, because it rules that energy. So each planet rules specific energy, and each sign also has a specific vibe or personality. So then, say you have your Mercury in Leo. Now, this energy of Mercury and communication is it's ruled by another sign, but then your sign of Leo is in it. And that's where it starts to get really specific to you. Like pop astrology is fun, But if you go look up your moon, or sorry, what did I say? Your Mercury in Leo, you're going to get something very specific to the way you communicate
Yeah.
because that's the sign Mercury was in when you were born. Was that a good answer?
Yeah,
I
I
feel
loved
like
it.
that
Yeah,
actually I kind of hit the spot.
I love it.
There's a
Yes.
little something for like a
A
nugget to
little
take and
nugget.
go. Yeah,
Yeah.
to take and go look.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
don't ask me astronomy questions.
Sorry. I just was really hoping I could learn more today. Just kidding. I
Oh.
learned so much. But I want to learn. So I actually live like right next to the observatory.
So
Observ
cool.
Wow, observatory. And we get to go there every once in a while and we have it's so much fun. We learn so much. So
Do
much.
they have like telescopes and stuff set up there? And
Yeah,
you
they'll
just set
like when
a
they have
time
like a
to go.
community night, they'll put like a bunch around in the area, but then they also have like the big one that you can go sit up in the room and um
Mm,
it's pretty cool.
that's so cool.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty cool. We've had a blast doing it and we probably don't go enough, but usually I'm like, yeah, I'm asleep by the time they're like
Come on
they'll,
up. You're like, no thanks.
they'll be like, hey neighbors, we're out tonight if you want to come look. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm in bed, but thank you for the invite.
Oh, that's cute that they text you.
They're so kind. Yeah.
Yeah. Good community.
Yeah, it's fun. One thing that kind of came to mind when we were talking about this, your moon sign, and something I really started to learn if you are a business person trying to create messaging, um, look up your moon sign because your moon sign will tell you more about how you connect with your ideal clients. Like when you're
Mm,
speaking,
mm,
so like for me, like my moon sign is Cancer, so it's much more of that like security, like helping like the worthiness and the security piece for like my messaging, making people feel seen and whole and complete
mm,
versus my sun sign, which is Sagittarius, where it's much more about the adventure and the and if you guys see me on Instagram, you know like that's
you're an
me.
adventure
I
girly.
love to adventure, but in and I can show that in my pictures and the way that I'm posting, but then it's like the internal side of things and how I show up. And that's what really brings my ideal clients into me is when I speak from that space versus when I speak from Adventure Mary.
Mm, I love that.
So yeah, check out your moon sign. Check out your
Check
moon
out
sign.
your moon sign.
Oh, check it out.
I have one more tool. I was gonna try and look it up. I'll do it later. Um, it's about same messaging and human design. Should we
Mm.
share it or how are we doing
Yeah.
on time?
No, we're good. I think we're just gonna break this down into two. I think I mean, I think that's what is meant to happen. This is so good, and like
Going into
the
this, we
nuggets of
knew.
wisdom and all of that, like we'll just break it into two. Last time I didn't. Sorry, everyone who listened to us for
It's
that
a
long.
lot to consume.
I'll break it into two so that you guys don't feel overwhelmed by, you know, hell, maybe we'll break it into three. You guys can have 3 weeks of us.
Hey, oh, we're back. Here's
Whoa.
part 2 or 3. You can skip that.
Heyo.
That's the word. Um,
Yeah,
okay.
let's dive into it.
So
Messaging and human design.
my coach, her name is Kate. She created this worksheet and it was okay, so I've got to give some context here. Human design is comprised of Kabbalah, I Ching, chakras, astrology, and I'm forgetting one more.
Astrology.
Anyways, on the little side
I
of your
can't, yeah.
chart, you guys can get your chart for free online, by the way. You have your design side and your personality side. That's bad lighting. Oof. Anyways, Each side, there's little numbers and little planets. Those numbers correspond to your gates, and if they are black, they are your conscious side, or like kind of what you would recognize about yourself. If they are red, they're unconscious, and you might be like, you might recognize it, but you might not. But if you ask someone, they would probably say, oh, yeah, I see you do that or move in that way. These gates are tied to different planets, and that's how it brings in astrology. That's the tie in between Kabbalah and astrology. So, this is so witchy. I'm like, Kabbalah and astrology. Hooey.
We.
Your sun, your earth, and your I forget. Mercury's what's coming to mind, but I think it's just because I was saying that earlier. Those three give you powerful insight on your sun, how you're meant to bring your energy to the earth, how you ground into that energy, and how you bring that messaging forward. Like your natural energy to push those forward. So I will send this to you, Mary Jo, after so you can put it's gonna be a long show notes.
Long
Um,
show notes.
but you can put in there the three planets to look at, the three numbers. So on mine, for example, my sun is, I'm going to stop trying to do that. My sun is 34. My earth is 20. So then I can look up gate 34 sun and it's going to tell me that energy. Then you can look up Mercury, gate, whatever, and it's going to tell you that energy. Because there's a million different ways that could express, but it will tell you your specific gate. And that's it. If you look up your moon sign and your planetary gate in human design, you're going to get some really cool insight on what would feel very natural for you and your messaging to push your business forward. Sorry, I don't have it memorized. It's been a
That
while since
is
I worked
so
with it.
beautiful, though.
It's so cool. She is a wizard and I love her. Her name is Kate Simmons. She works for Turning Leaf.
I love it.
She's a master in a lot of things. She was my life coach, but she's also a master in human design. So I don't think I can share the packet because that's obviously something she created, but I will share what the three planets are and you can put in there how people can find it.
I love that. And honestly, like again, going back to being hesitant about all of these tools, like it really I don't see it as limiting as much as I see it as confirming. So when I first started
Yes.
to want to transition and talk more about money and business, the more I started to dive into these things, the more I realized like I was meant to talk about money. I was meant to bring that in.
Mm-hmm.
Because it really ties back into worthiness and
Mm-hmm.
what I'm meant to help people do. And even like understanding like the business side of things. Like I kept like saying no, like I've got to grow my business bigger before I talk about business. But then like diving deeper into all of these little pieces of human design and astrology and even just pulling a tarot card here and there, everything kept pulling me. And
Confirms.
also coming back to like that sacral authority. For me, I'm actually an emotional authority, which means that it's in the now, yes, but then I have to let my emotions settle because I can easily say yes to something that I'm excited for and then 2 days later be like, oh shoot, I did not want to do that.
Yeah. Just so cool. The emotional authority is the strongest authority, but sacral is right next. So you can
Yeah.
use both, which is
Yeah.
really cool. Sorry, I intercepted. Continue.
I no, I was complete. Was
All
whole.
right. Complete.
Complete and whole.
So beautiful.
Okay, let's dive into like subconscious reprogramming. This is, I guess, moving out of like the witchiness, but also like still, still a little bit. Okay, as a breathwork coach, I want to know more about your thoughts on mindset work. You know that I love subconscious reprogramming, NLP mindset.
Hmm.
and why it's essential. But why is it essential that we also incorporate nervous system work in the process?
I love that question.
Hmm.
And I would flip the question too, and we're going to talk about both. Why
Yeah,
is
because you need both.
mindset work essential when you're doing nervous system work? And as a just very like one-liner piece, I would say that clarity, getting clarity isn't going to directly translate into capacity.
Mm.
You can still hold that fear in your body. And clearing out your nervous system and getting capacity, you can do that as many times as you want. But if you're just floundering, it's like, to what end? You're doing it to feel good, which is not bad, but your audience is people who are moving themselves and probably
Yeah.
other people forward if they're leaders, right?
Yeah.
Those two are so fucking integral. And not that they have to like both constantly be happening, but there's got to be some level of cohesion. And not that either has to be super deep and intense at all times, but they do go together. And do we want to get like kind of sciencey? Can we get
Yeah.
nerdy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Please. I
So,
think I think the science piece helps people. If you can bring science into spirituality, manifestation,
mhm.
more people are going to get on board with it, you know?
It's kind of how we were talking about like everything is so tied into each other, like astrology, human design, science. My cat just left. His food went off. I saw you like clock the door opening. But yeah, it's all so tied into each other. So, okay. My specialty is breath work. Really, any kind of nervous system regulation is going to enhance your ability to do mindset work. Like I think about the times I've tried to rewire a belief or show up to whatever I'm working on in a state of high friction, it doesn't fucking stick. And I always get something I need out of it, but it's just a different experience when you're not regulated doing mindset work.
It
And
like doesn't
there's,
click.
yeah, there's a
Yeah.
reason for that. A calm nervous system doesn't deactivate your amygdala, but it slows that activity down. It brings more of your prefrontal cortex online and it puts your mind into a state of neuroplasticity, which literally is the fucking groundwork for mindset work, right? Like, so however you
So
do
true.
your system, anything is going to be Gucci green jelly bean. Like if you resonate with grounding or meditation and you get into a state of calm, beautiful. I am partial to breath work, and there's a lot of science behind why it is the best. Not just like shamanic transformative major clearing, but any kind of breath work raises your levels of GABA, which is GABA schlaba butyric acid.
Gabba
I
shlaba.
don't know. GABA, GABA. What matters is that GABA is the neurotransmitter that basically presses the brakes on excessive neural firing. Breath work creates the greatest spike in GABA, like 30% more than other. That could be wrong. I might have pulled that out of my butt, but it's high. I know it's the highest. Um, because it floods your mind with GABA and puts you into a state of GABA does a lot of things. It's very calming, relaxing. It allows digestion. It gets you out of fight or flight. Any, sorry, I'm bouncing all over the place. I hope this is like landing. Any nervous system regulation practice will bring you to out of fight or flight. But when you have GABA in your mind, the biggest piece and how it ties into mindset work is it improves your learning and working memory. So
Mm.
creating those new pathways.
Yeah.
So again, this is one of those things where like do what resonates, do whatever your nervous system work is. But if you love science and your brain latches onto that, you don't have to think your way through regulating or like force peace. You can just 3 conscious breaths is all it takes for your mind to clock that it's safe. And if you can do a
Right.
little longer, the more GABA you're going to release and the softer, I'll say, your brain is going to be and more receptive to that. Like, okay, what the fuck are we working on? What are we
Right.
changing? What are we clearing? What do we want?
Mm. I love
Good
this.
stuff.
I love it. It's so good. And I know that there's people here who need that too, like just to fully grasp the understanding of why it works so that it's not
Mhm.
just like
Not just a fugazi.
yeah, intangible. It's this tangible piece of like there's actual like studies that show that this is, this is a process and
Mhm.
this is how it works. And if you have this thought, it's gonna trigger a chemical response, which you're gonna feel in your body.
Immediately,
And
which is
and
so
then
cool.
like you feel, if it's fear, if it's anxiety, if it's worry, and it's something that your body wants to shut off for, it wants to run away from, or wants to whatever it may do, fight, flight, or freeze.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can sit and repeat. And the saying is like you can't slap an affirmation on unhealed trauma or unhealed stories or whatever it may be. Like you've got to go into the body, clear that.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier, like that the brighter the light, the more stark the contrast of the shadow.
Yeah.
And the shadow isn't a bad thing. It just needs to be integrated and seen and breathed through and to know you're safe. And I think that like how I was saying, you don't always have to be doing mindset work with nervous system regulation and vice versa, but there's always a level of both. And why, like, if you go to do breath work with no intention, it's kind of, you'll feel relaxed, but then just some shit might come up and it's like, okay, now what?
You're
We
right.
want to have what we're working on building or creating for
Right.
ourselves
Which is why
too.
you have your clients do like in-depth like intentions and asking questions and all the fun stuff that, yeah,
Yeah.
it
And I've
makes
had people
sense.
show up with like, I don't really have intentions. I just want to like release. And it works. But then I do feel like there's this kind of floundering state of like, what do I do with it? And
Right.
same with mindset. If you're not regulated, you can get those, you can have your intention of what you want to rewire. But if your mind's not ready to receive that, you're going to flounder. It's just going to fall,
Yeah.
it's going to fall off.
I love it. Okay, so for those that are listening who wants to, you know, dive into the breathwork world, how do they get a hold of you? How do they contact you to learn more about breathwork?
Okay, so I have info on my website about like what breath work is, the shamanic transformative breath that I do. My website is thegroundedascension.com. Um, but really I would say connecting with me, I'm mostly on Instagram. I'm on there every day. I post every day, post reels every week, and my link tree is in my Instagram that has all of my classes and the link to my website and whatever's coming up. So, one of those two, I would say,
Okay. We'll make
website
sure that's
or
linked.
Instagram. Thank you.
Okay, and
Thank you, Mama.
I know you have like two different sessions with breathwork.
Mm.
Tell us about those two sessions and what the difference is, and what would you recommend for somebody who's new and maybe somebody who's done it for a while?
Okay. Oh, this question is so good because it ties into everything we've talked about today, and that is just discernment and clocking for yourself because I feel like the session types aren't like do this one and then this one and then this one. It's just where are you at right now? Like, do you need a big release? Are you feeling emotional? Are you feeling a big shift? Or are you just like, no, I know I need to stay on top of my regulation or I'm gonna go fucking crazy. So the root session is like a standardized session. Um, I've created a playlist that's just has songs that resonate with most people. It's the same length of session, it's one-on-one, and you'll get just as much out of it. You will go into the same state in your body, you'll clear just as much. The bloom session is different in the sense that you send me your intentions beforehand. I sit with them and I create a playlist for you based off your intentions. And then I do my witchy stuff and I tune in and I have spirit clear out what's not meant for you and bring in what is. So it's very special curated playlist that's probably just going to hit a little deeper.
Yeah.
So that's why I say it's kind of where you're at. Like if there's some more, like some big stuff, or you feel like you're on this precipice, that's a really good one to do. Where root can be your introduction, or it can just be some maintenance work.
Right.
And I do group sessions. I would not recommend a group session if you have a lot going on. Let me like do some personal energy work with you if you have a lot going on, but those are really good for just regulating and clearing too. And they're just very inexpensive. They're very not applicable, affordable. They're very applicable. I think I'm running out of words.
Applicable.
They're very applicable to everything.
I like that. Applicable. Um, okay, so in the past when we worked together, I know you have also helped me with some of the energy work in those sessions. Are you still incorporating that? Or is that just like on a case by case basis when people ask for it? And then also tell me a little bit about your experience with doing the energy work. I feel like whenever we've done a breathwork session before and you have brought in that energy work, like I feel things releasing in such a
Mm.
different energy and it's so cool.
It's so, I love energy work. It's so juicy. Um, it is case by case. I will always ask for permission, whether it's a root or bloom session. However, I've never had someone say no, but people's bodies will tell me no. So, and that's just where they're at. If what they're going through is sacred, or there's just not that like trust there yet, or it's their own to work through. I've also had experiences where I just sense that it's between them and their guides and their God. And it's, I'm here to love you and make sure you're well. But I love when I do get to do energy work. Random things come in. And when I share them, people are always like, oh, yeah, like that ties to this. And I felt that here or whatever. Like it's just such a
Yeah.
weird world of like, what? But it always ties in and it is some kind of release or tied to some memory that is asking to be seen or who knows. It can go a million different ways to Sunday, but I love it. I love it so much. That I feel like is probably the most special work I get to do. Because it's not me. I just am conduiting. Conduiting?
Right.
Yeah.
Conduiting.
Conduiting.
Conduiting. It's a thing.
It's a thing.
It's a word.
But yeah.
Conduiting. Yeah. Oh, I have a I have a friend who does hair. She had a gentleman once tell her that her hands were healing and he was dead serious. And I'm like, girl, you have a gift then. Because I feel that, like, 'cause she washes my hair for me. And like, so after she told me
Mhm.
this, and then I go get my hair done and she's like washing my hair, I'm like, oh my God, you do have this gift. And I felt
You're
it. I'm
pulling.
like you can bring like and it's so cool. Energy work is so unique. And I know that there's like a lot of rules and stuff like that, but I've done my own energy work and I see it in pictures. I don't know, like
Mhm.
I know that sometimes you'll say you see it in pictures, but it's just like this. It's like my jaw, like I feel like I can't speak about something that I want to share. And
Mhm.
so like I'll go inward and it's like I can see this like statue or something like stuck in the middle of my throat and I have to just like chisel it and break it up and then just like pull it out and
So
excavate it and
cool.
do all these things and it's like this inner work. And so I'm talking to her and I'm like, the intentions that you can bring into these like hair washings. And she's like, well, like, should I do that or should I not? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
should you do energy work on somebody? And I like what you said, like, you'll know.
Yeah. I would imagine that her energy is probably having conversations with other people's energy, like this guy. Maybe it's not everyone, or maybe it is. And I do believe in the power of like the verbal consent,
Yeah.
but also it comes down to, I think it takes both. Also, the next layer is just like energy has to agree, source has to agree.
Yeah. I love
I don't
that.
know. That's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there is an energy technique that is hair pulling, where they pull energy out of your hair. Yeah.
Interesting.
I had that done on me when I did face zoning. And it's even funny saying it now, but I was vibing. I was like, you just pulled so much out of these follicles. Thank you. It was crazy.
So like, is it like actually pulling your hair?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. She's just sitting at my scalp, like pulling, and she goes through every section.
That is so cool.
And it was delicious.
Wow. Um, so we so manifest by our senses. And I had a coach once tell me that you you can anchor in, and she was an NLP coach. I love NLP. If you guys don't know what that is, it's neuro linguistic programming. It has a lot to do with like mindset work and stuff. But she always would say like find something that you love and anchor it in, like with your senses, like coffee in the morning. When you're smelling your coffee, like let that be an anchor to the goal as if you've already reached it. Like
Mhm.
you're just sitting there sipping your coffee, smelling it, and like the thing's already achieved. Same with like
Mhm.
brushing your hair. And
Ooh,
I
I love
like, so
that.
whenever I'm brushing my hair, I'm just like tuned, like it's like this anchor. Like I'm not even thinking about my goals or dreams. It's just in the background of my mind. And all of a sudden I'm brushing my hair and I'm like, oh my gosh, yay, it happened. It's here.
Oh, I love that. I
Ah,
remember learning anchoring, and mine were the ones I did were always like knuckles and is that familiar?
yeah.
NLP.
This
But
one.
I never thought of like just doing it with whatever I'm engaging throughout the day because I fell away from doing this. So now when I press this, I don't feel anything because I wasn't building on it. I wasn't doing it and
Yeah.
thinking about it and then building on it. And
Yeah.
that's a great idea.
But
I'm
like
gonna
even
use,
like brushing through your hair like this,
yeah,
like it's just like,
coffee.
oh,
You do it naturally.
yeah.
That's cool.
It's a
That's
really good way to like
cool.
normalize in your body too, like kind of going back to like feeling it in your body, like normalizing it in your body that it's safe to reach your goals because our brain just doesn't know the difference sometimes between the perceived and the actual physical danger. So it's like, okay, no, this is actually safe, and the more you can anchor into that visual and feel safe in it, the more your brain's like, all right, we're good. Let's go.
Oh, I love that.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's
And
run.
it's natural. It's natural for you to brush your hair. It's natural to have coffee. This is a little unnatural. Like, why am I just doing this?
Yeah.
So
Was
I
it just
really
like
like what you
maybe just
said
like to
about
sit
that.
there and like
I don't know. It was
I
like
never
five
heard
years
of that
ago.
one. Like I've done this before, like to anchor with
Mm,
like
that
tapping
feels
my
good.
fingers. But I also
Mm.
love EFT tapping and I feel like that anchors in. I don't know what it does. It's
I've never looked at the research behind that, but I love it and I do it all the time.
well, and you know me, I'm a course buyer and then I never finish. I bought a course once on how to become an
I'm
EFT.
a course buyer.
I was. Now that I have a human design, now that I understand my human design and understand that I'm not the kind of person who's meant to just say yes
Mm.
instantaneously, I now
Doing it
understand like I
less.
have to let the clarity come to me. So
Mm.
I only say yes now. At least that's my goal now. I've been working on that and I feel like,
Beautiful.
which comes from you. And also leads
Comes
me
from
to the
what?
next. It comes from you because you and I have been okay. So you guys know right now I'm working with Ashley, um, in her life coaching practice, we're going through a container that teaches me the laws of the universe. Laws of the universe, right? The seven laws.
It's just called the Seven Laws, but they're very parallel to the laws of the universe. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So
that
very
vibe for
true.
sure.
And what we've done and something that's really been fun is we've been like going over each and every single one. And then at the end, like I incorporate human design into it. And it's, oh my gosh, it's been so beautiful. And one of the things is just like to help me follow my intention, to help me stay the course, is really just like learning how to use my emotional authority.
Mm,
And I used to say yes to so many things right away and then like feel overwhelmed and anxious. And oh man, it's just been beautiful. So the next
mm,
question, diving in to life coaching. Um, how has life coaching helped you fulfill your purpose?
mm. Um, well, first I just want to say that I think it's so cool that you do that. Like, hey, given this law, how do I integrate it into human design? We forgot to talk about that last session. But I
We did.
love it. And you've gotten so many cool nuggets for yourself from that. And that's very powerful and empowering. Um, oh, I love it. And I love to hear that like emotional authority piece is really sitting with you and finding safety in the taking of time. Um, Probably shouldn't like break HIPAA and share what we talk about in our sessions. Should I?
Share it all.
Okay. It's nothing crazy.
I
I
give
just was
you
like,
verbal
oh, this is
consent.
confidential.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's share. I've got you.
You were sharing about like if I'm out of alignment, it'll take over a few days to make a decision. And we kind of got into that like, oh, why? Like what? And so it was something that was not a safe space for you and you worked through it and are working through it and now are finding so much more peace and like less overwhelm in the
Yeah,
honoring of that in a new way that really works for you,
yeah.
which is so cool. Like I'm always impressed with you with everything you create, but just the way that you show up for yourself and your growth in those arenas, not only to propel you forward in your business, but your family and the people you serve, which is really cool that you're willing to do that. And you always look for the next, what more can I do? Which is really cool.
It is
Um,
cool. It's a both a gift and uh a curse.
yeah.
Ignorance is bliss, but at the same time, like I don't think my mind, my soul is gonna let that happen. So
The good thing is now you know, but the
yeah.
bad thing is now you know.
Now you know.
Yeah, I remember my public speaking professor saying that in college. I was like, "Oh, that's
That's
crazy."
genius.
Um, can you repeat the question?
How was
I
life
forgot.
coaching? Yeah, no, I love it. How has life coaching helped you fulfill your purpose? And I know we talked about this at the beginning, um, when we talked a little bit about how, yeah, I'm gonna let you speak here. Go ahead.
I would circle back to that, like just the like, let me say something new that's going to tie into that same thing, like the talking about, people finding their own path. Um, Coaching has been a space for me to do that. I started with breathwork, and it was such a cool environment for people to get their own wisdom and answers. But then after, people would start to ask me questions and we'd have conversations. And I remember feeling very like, one, I'm not qualified. Two, I'm feeling kind of burnt out. Like I don't know how to separate my energy from theirs and I don't want to should on people. Like, but there's some calling here, right? Like there's a need, there's an ask.
Yeah.
So my life coaching education taught me how to be in that lane and like stay within the guardrails, right? Like how to ask questions, how to hold up a mirror, how to honor spirit when spirit comes in and share those things that are maybe hard for people to hear while still letting it be their own, because that is my, if we're looking at human design, of course, I have so many purposes, and my purpose is just to live and play and enjoy life. But I think my purpose in business is to help people escape the cages that they've built for themselves, made of shoulds, and doing it through finding their own authenticity and discernment. And life coaching gave me the tools to learn how to ask the questions for people to do that, rather than just like how we were talking about. It's nervous system regulation without a focus is just floundering, and vice versa. I felt like I was leaving people in floundering. So it helped me kind of complete that, like complete the offering, or complete the step for people that they're taking when they
Right.
meet with me.
Oh, I love that. That's so beautiful. Like, here's this beautiful, and I don't know if this is how your funnel is, but it's kind of like bringing people in. Here's this step of like regulating your nervous system and releasing so much. And then
Mm,
once you release, it's like, okay, well now I want to I'm aware of all of these things, and now what do I do next? And you're
yeah.
there. You have the tools now, and
Yeah.
you can guide them through this. I mean, never once before you were a life coach did I ever think that I was floundering after any of your calls. You always helped me feel complete afterwards. But I can see where you're going with it and how that makes sense. Like now, if people are wanting more, they can say, "What's next?"
Yeah.
Which leads into my
Okay,
next
cool,
question.
but what? Yeah.
Yeah. The next question is like, so you have a couple different packages and different things that people can work on with you. Um, and let me pull that question up so I don't botch it here. Um, where would you guide some if somebody's wanting anyone listening here that's like, oh my gosh, I've gotta get Ashley in my world. Um, where would you guide them to start based on what they're struggling with, whether that be finances, business, relationship, career, boundaries, um,
Mm,
authenticity, just all the things. Which process or program would you start them with?
mm. What a good question. And it kind of like ties me back into what you were saying about, there's nervous system regulation and then there's coaching. In a very cut and dry, perfect world, it is that, because it's like breath work is the past up to the present, clearing the past and getting to the present. And coaching is present day forward. But we're so fucking complex and multidimensional that a lot of people I do start with coaching first, because they have this clear idea of what they're moving into. And then maybe if we hit a block, we'll go back to coaching. So I would say, again, like the resources, my link tree is going to have a 15-minute discovery call. Same with my website. When you go to book, there's a discovery call where we just get a chat, and I get to use my human design authority and respond after hearing you say, here's what's working and here's what's not working. And then I can ask you some questions, and we can see, one, if we are a fit, and what modality would serve you best. And if it's not me, I've got an arsenal of people like Mary Jo that specialize in areas that I don't. Um, and one thing that's very beautiful about you is you're like, hey, how can they reach you on your podcast, right? Like I always want to do the same. Like this work is so, and I'm sure all of the people that listen to this podcast feel the same way. This work is so collaborative and expansive, and we're all here to help love and serve each other and to up level. Like I'm getting chills right now. It's so empowering and powerful. So that call will just help us clarify like what's stuck and how do we get unstuck, whether with me or them, whether coaching or breath work or a whole different modality.
Yeah, yeah, I love it.
I love it. I had a question from your last question, and I just wanted to offer it back to you of how have you found your purpose in stepping into that calling to work with wealth? Because I know you recently transitioned into that or fully, you already were working in it
yeah,
because
my
people
nervous
asked
system
of you.
is spiked AF.
Slay!
Um, it is a huge transition. I will 100% be honest. Right now, I am struggling to manifest in this arena because my nervous system is all over the board and because I'm learning so much about
Mm.
myself. So much.
It's a big calling.
And it's so good because and the reason why is because I the more that comes up, the more my nervous system freaks out, but the more I get to work through it. And the
Yeah.
more I get to rewire these thoughts that have been holding me back for so long. I've really been resisting this for honestly a lifetime.
And now it's
Honestly a
here.
lifetime. Yeah, and I started
Wow.
talking so when I very first I think it was like 2017, 2018, I had this idea in my mind and I was like, I want to talk about financial freedom because my husband and I started like getting our finances together. And I like it was so empowering. Like I had been living in debt a lifetime. Like since I ever had like as a even as like a high school student, my parents would give me money and I'd always be asking for more because I'd run out so quickly, you know? And it just like it was like there's never enough.
Mm.
And I lived that way for so long. And so when I finally stepped into this world of enoughness and getting
Mm.
my debt under control, and there was just this huge sense of freedom, and I wanted to talk about it. And so I probably could go back to like I wrote a book once, wrote two books actually that have never
Mm.
been published or have done anything with. And the very first book is really about financial freedom.
You
And
wrote two books?
yes, ma'am.
That's so cool. Okay, continue.
Yeah, and there's so much juice there, but I left a lot of the things behind because my and it as a manifesting generator, but also as a human being in evolution, like some of those things like just don't resonate with me anymore. But the biggest thing that always resonated is this financial freedom and how I want to help teach that. And it really is coming back to your sense of self-worth and seeing you as somebody who deserves to feel free, who deserves to feel supported by money, who deserves to feel supported in your business, in your career, and that you're actually capable of moving forward no matter what direction you're going. Like
Yeah.
that I don't know. I don't think I answered the question.
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
Why, I have a follow-up question. Why do we deserve it? And why do you deserve it?
That is a beautiful question. The first thing that comes to mind is money in the hands of well-intended
Mm.
and good, not as in like labeling people as good or bad, but good as in people who intend to share their wealth in a beautiful way. Money in the hands
Mm.
of well-intended people changes the world. And the
I love
and that's the thing is like you're not coming into my space. Like if you're listening to this podcast, first of all, like if you feel like, oh,
probably a good person.
if if you're like money turns people into to greedy people, that's not the case for you. You're here for a reason, and it, it's just a belief. It's a
Yeah.
belief that we get to dissolve and we get to help you move through. That's it. That's
Mm.
all.
Yeah.
So, and why we deserve it. This might sound, I mean, I've read this in so many books, like my entire life, the more I've learned about money. You, we came here to live and expand and grow. God didn't put money here. God, universal, higher power, whatever you call it, didn't put money here for us to feel stuck.
Mm.
It's here for
Uh,
us au- to be able to express ourselves in the most authentic way possible. And the more you collect along the way in terms of wealth, the more you get to express yourself and more authenticity. And that doesn't mean that because
Mm,
you don't have money now or the amount that you want now that you can't fully express yourself. It's just that
right.
and I think about like my next step, like wouldn't it be so cool like if I could do X, Y, and Z, and if I could do that, I could share these experiences with my children, and like if I could just give my daughter all the money possible to pay for her dental hygiene school and
Mm.
say, take the money that you've been saving and experience, because she's in Texas right now going to school, like just experience Texas,
Oh, yeah.
travel and do those things. I would love to be able to do that for her because, right now she's feeling stuck in the fact that like she doesn't have enough money to go and explore Texas, right?
Mm,
Because she's
yeah.
paying for school. And so it's things like that. And that's why you deserve it. That's why we all deserve it, is because we're
Mhm.
meant to express ourselves authentically. And we can do that best when we have more wealth in our hands to share our authenticity.
That was so beautiful.
Oh, you're so beautiful.
I could listen to you talk about that for 45 minutes more.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk
No,
about
that's
it. Talk
so
about it.
not even like your expression and your authenticity growing and doing more of, like you said, it's not that or without money, you're not authentic, but like it just amplifies it. And then the fact that you get to share that with someone else, your daughter, who then gets to spread her authenticity. And authenticity is the strongest frequency. And more of that in the world is a really good fucking thing.
Yeah.
Like, that is, more people are going to be in joy, more people are going to be in peace.
Yeah.
I love that. I just love everything that you shared about that, and like spoke so from your heart
Yeah.
about. That was really cool
Yeah.
to listen to.
I don't know why I sidebar here, but like a lot of our mental and physical things are really much more emotional. Like if we're struggling, like, and the authenticity piece, like it's just our way that we think and feel about how we show up in the world that blocks us from that. Where am I going with this?
Blocks us from,
It's just like,
wait, the
yeah,
mental and physical.
the more people who are able to express it, like, let me rewind. Um,
Reel it in, wind it.
the more people who are expressing themselves selves authentically are living happier and healthier lives. Not to say that they
Yes,
don't
yes.
do the, but they don't place judgment around how they are performing mentally or physically, which actually
Mm,
comes back to the emotional piece. Because when you
mhm.
think a thought, it triggers a chemical response that you feel in your body, which then goes back to how you feel physically and how you think mentally.
And it's just
Yeah.
perpetuating, perpetuating.
To me,
Yeah.
a lot of like if you're someone who's like feeling stuck in your circumstance, you don't have a lot right now or you don't think you have a lot, like come back to your body and feel the abundance that you already have. And that is going to help you take judgment off of where you're at, which is then going to open up your mind to receive new ideas that will then help you move forward in a way that feels peaceful and easy and expansive.
Yep. And authentic.
Yeah.
It all ties into each other.
Yeah. Money is just money is a conduit for fun, and fun is a conduit for more money. And so, like, the more fun you're having and the more you're enjoying life.
Hmm. And well, we could just keep
I know we could talk for a
sidebarring here.
lifetime. Let's go.
Let's go, baby.
Let's
Um,
go.
what was my thought on that? Well, now it's gone, so nope, it's gone.
It'll come back if it's meant to.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, it'll come back. Okay.
Isn't that like the last thing we had? I'm like, there's no time for it to come back. It's just gone.
Yeah.
It's just gone.
No, I don't
If it
know.
was meant to be here, it would have been.
So again,
What you
back to
ended on was perfect.
how they get a hold of you. Um,
Woohoo.
again, same thing. If they want to work with you in terms of life coaching, they can still the same process, reach you through Instagram, which I'm going to link that in the show notes,
Mm.
show notes, or
True Newts.
at and tell me what it is at
Thegroundedascension.com.
ascension.com. Yep.
Yep.
I
Yep.
love it.
All of the very like intuitive places you'd look. Like on the website, if you go to book now, my calendar's there and there's the discovery call. Or if you just know you want a breathwork session, it's there. Same with on my Instagram. If you click on the one link in my bio, it's got my calendar and you can book a discovery call. So,
Yeah.
yeah, thank you for plugging me there.
Well,
Yeah.
plugging.
Plug. Yee.
Thank you so much for being here.
That was a beautiful session.
It was. And there's your pups. Um,
She's been yelling. Well, she's been respectful. She's been like back here rubbing her face in the ground. She keeps coming up to me like,
excuse me, you've been sitting too
"Hey,
long.
I need to go potty.
Mm.
Do you need to go potty?" I shouldn't have asked that.
Okay, let's leave with one. If you could leave everyone with one final piece of wisdom, what would it be?
Can you hear her? Um, few things are coming in. I would say take 3 deep breaths today and tomorrow and the next day, just for the sake of taking 3 breaths, just for the sake of being with those 3 breaths. And I don't know if this is controversial, but if it applies, tune into your higher power and ask for that help or ask for guidance or ask for the answers or to find the pieces that match your intentions. Whether your higher power is whatever you call it. And if it's not there, this doesn't apply, but that's what came in. So I'll leave with that.
I love it. Yeah. And
Anything from you? Did anything land for you?
if you need help calling in your higher power, use tarot or oracle.
But ding.
It's not that the message from or like you'll never get your message from outside of you. The message will be from within, but that's why it's so much more of an intuitive process, you know? Like let
Pulling
that.
it and feeling seen is like there is something aware of me. Even if it's just my higher self, like there's something more sentient than I, like clocking that I needed to read this thing. It's a really great piece of advice.
I like it. I'm gonna
I
keep
like
it.
it.
And if you
I
want
like it.
more
I'm keeping it.
intuitive guidance, come join me in the Wealth Expansion Portal where we do a weekly tarot cards and then also a
Can't wait.
monthly Q&A, money rituals, drop-in meditations, and of course a monthly masterclass and an ever-growing library, an overwhelming, a wonderful overwhelming library of information that you can pick and choose where you want to start. So come
I'm
join me.
so excited for the tarot.
Oh,
Yeah.
no,
I'm excited for all of it.
it's so fun. So
That drew me in.
Ashley came and joined us. So
Yay.
it's going to be even more expansive. So come join us. We're going to have a blast. A lifetime of fun.
A lifetime of fun.
Oh,
One portal. Thank you for having me. I love you
yes.
dearly.
Thank you for being here.
Bye.